Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I hope everyone is doing well. We will be talking about Eric Garcia and Barcelona's bid that will be coming to City within this week, and then we will be moving on to Lautaro Martinez and why Barcelona do need a number 9 more than ever. And so we are first going to start with Eric Garcia, and it says here, this week Barcelona and Oscar Grau could make an offer to Manchester City for over 10 million euros for Eric Garcia. And so we have heard reports in the past days that City did reject a bid of around 10 million euros from FC Barcelona. City do not want to get anything near 10 million euros. They're looking and expecting for a price tag of around 18 to 19 to 20 million euros, but no less than 15 million euros. City do stand firm on that price tag. And so here's the thing, Barcelona interest to Eric Garcia is real. It's going to continue to be real until the end of this transfer window, and so we are going to continue to hear reports of Eric Garcia going to Barcelona. Eric Garcia is the man that Barcelona choose to strengthen the defense. And so let's stop right there. There is a debate going on with this player, like we have with every player that's rumored to come to Barcelona. There's a debate, and they're asking, why should we bid 18 million euros for Eric Garcia, especially knowing that this man here, this player, has not really played first team football consistently throughout one season. Not only that, but Eric Garcia could be coming to Barcelona to replace Todibo. And that is the conversation I do want to have, right? Because yes, it's true. If we do end up replacing Eric Garcia for Todibo, that could potentially harm us in the long run, because we know that Todibo is a world-class player. We know that Todibo can bring great stuff to FC Barcelona, and it would be very worrying to see Todibo leave Barcelona, knowing that he could have done great things for this club. Now we know that Todibo already has one great season under his belt when it comes to top European football, and he has been consistent throughout that season. And so we know that Todibo does have some sort of resume under his belt. And so I do want to pull up some stats, right? And this is going to explain on why I assume that Barcelona want Eric Garcia over Todibo. And so we are going to break this down to the strengths for Todibo and Eric Garcia. And we're first going to start with Todibo. And if we look here, one of the greatest strengths Todibo does have is his defensive duels. Throughout the course of the 2019-2020 season, Todibo has encountered 102 defensive duels and has won 69% of those defensive duels. And just to give you guys some context on how great this is, if we look at Otamendi from Manchester City, he has encountered 185 defensive duels, but has only won 62.7% of those defensive duels. And just to bring you guys even more context on this, right? Let's move on to Van Dijk from Liverpool. He has encountered 179 defensive duels and has won 71.5% of those defensive duels. And we must really take note of that, right? Look at that margin between 69% from Todibo and 71% from Van Dijk. That is already telling us so much of what Todibo's greatest strength is. And so Todibo does have quality. Now I want to move on to Eric Garcia. What is his strength? What makes Barcelona want to bring Eric Garcia so badly to this club? And one of the greatest strengths that we have seen from this player is his recoveries while he is under pressure. This is something that Barcelona highly do depend on. They do depend on defenders and midfielders who can recover the ball while under pressure. And just like with the stat of Todibo, I'm going to give you guys some context on just why Eric Garcia's ball recoveries are so important to FC Barcelona. So let's look at the overall stats of Barcelona as a club ball recoveries throughout the course of the 2019-2020 season. They have won a total of 70.75% of ball recoveries within that team. And many of you guys might say, wait a minute, but that's not bad. Winning 70% of the ball recoveries is not that bad. But again, I'm going to give you guys some context on this. If we compare this to Real Madrid, they have won 75% of the ball recoveries. Moving on to Atletico Madrid, they have won 80% of their ball recoveries. Moving on to Liverpool, they have won 85% of their ball recoveries. Then moving on to City, they have won 76%. And then moving on to Juventus, who is a team that has been struggling and has had one of their worst seasons in the previous season, they won 69% of their ball recoveries. So if we were going to compare Barcelona's ball recoveries to the other teams out there in Europe, yes, Barcelona is one of the worst, because again, Barcelona have 70.75% recoveries won throughout that whole season. And I think that Barcelona were looking and assessing throughout the whole season and saying, you know what, we need players whose greatest strengths is to recover the ball while under pressure. And I think that that is why they're looking at Eric Garcia, because if we look at Garcia's stats when it comes to ball recoveries, out of the 134 ball recoveries he has done, he has won 20.1% in the opposition's half. And that is already telling us so much of what Eric Garcia could do and how much he could help FC Barcelona. And so Todibo and Eric Garcia do have their own strengths. Yes, does Garcia Garcia and Todibo have their weaknesses? They do. But I think that Barcelona is looking at this and saying, which player here can give us something that we don't have at the moment? And so it's all going to depend on what Barcelona do want. Could they maintain both players? They could, but I don't see that being ideal, knowing that you're going to have 5 different center backs in a team that only uses 2, which is Piqué, Todibo, Eric Garcia, Lenglet, and Araujo. But that is where I'm going to let you guys decide. Do you prefer Eric Garcia or Todibo to wear that Barcelona shirt next season? Lucky enough, we do have Man City playing against Wolves and Leicester City before the transfer window does open, so there is time for Barcelona and us to really examine a player like Eric Garcia. And then we also have Barcelona, who is going to play up against Girona and Elche on September 19th before the window does close on October 5th. Moving on to the next topic of the day, and we're going to be talking about Lautaro Martinez. And it says here, according to Giacomo, he has stated the agents of Lautaro Martinez will meet Inter and discuss the interest from Barcelona and a possible renewal with Inter Milan. Barcelona have activated Plan Lautaro, but they have less time to get the money that the Italian club have asked for. And keep in mind, when we are talking about this source and this statement alone, this is Italian based. So yes, is the meeting between the agents of Lautaro Martinez with Inter Milan true? It is. But when it comes to Barcelona activating the Lautaro Martinez plan, I would take that with a grain of salt. Yes, is Barcelona interested in Lautaro Martinez? It's true. But when it comes to this report specifically, let's take it with a grain of salt. But since we're here and we're having this conversation, I want to bring up a topic that I did talk about in my previous video, and that was this. After the match that Barcelona did play, one of the clear flaws that we did see is that Barcelona greatly missed a true number 9, because in the second half we saw everything go correctly. We saw the wingers flourish, we saw Trincao play well, we saw Ricky Puig and Conrad de la Fuente play extremely well, but there was only one piece missing, which was that number 9. And then when we assess Griezmann's play in the first half, it's clear that Griezmann could improve that role. He could get better, but it was simply not enough. And the reason why I'm saying that, the reason why I'm critiquing Griezmann so hard right now, is because we have to understand that Griezmann is 29 years old, a player who has won the World Cup, a player who has experience. He was much better positioned compared to the left wing role, and he played against a team that plays in the 3rd division. And still, there were times where Griezmann did look lost on where he should have been positioned at, and that can be very worrying, right? And I hope that Koeman really does see that and assess and say, you know, we might actually need a new number 9. Maybe Griezmann might not work as a complete striker. Maybe he could work as that second striker. And we have talked about Ansu Fati playing the number 9 role, but I think what's going to happen within this season is that Ansu Fati will play that number 9 role, and he will also play the left wing position. I think that they're going to go with the theory of, if something's not broken, don't fix it. But we are at times going to see Ansu Fati play that role. But that is a very difficult position to be in, because if we can't guarantee that Griezmann is going to perform extremely well in that position, and we can't guarantee that Ansu Fati is going to maintain his position as a striker, that is a very difficult position to be in. Because I don't know if you guys remember, but there was a moment in 2020 when we did not have Luis Suarez. We were begging for Luis Suarez to come back. Barcelona were wishing they did have that number 9 that could score those goals. And so look, could we come out with great performances with Griezmann playing in that role, or Ansu Fati playing in that role throughout the season? We could bring out great performances, winning 5-0, 6-0. But if we're going to have the conversation trying to achieve the UCL in the upcoming season, that is where we really do need to assess on how we should move through this transfer window. And especially knowing that Koeman is going to favorite the 4-2-3-1 formation, that one at the top in front of the 3 attackers is going to be extremely important. For example, Bayern is extremely well aware of that with Lewandowski. They know that they do need him to complete that 4-2-3-1 system. And this is all pointing to the direction of Lautaro Martinez. And then we have to ask, what is taking so long to find the final conclusion between Lautaro Martinez and Barcelona? Because eventually we're going to have to move on and find other number 9s. And it has been reported that Barcelona will not move on to any other operation. They will not bring any other player in, because what they do want to get done before that is to let go of Vidal and Luis Suarez. And right now, Barcelona is not in that position to sell Vidal and Luis Suarez completely. And it says here, according to Moises Llorens, Barcelona hopes to close the departures of Vidal and Suarez next week. Vidal to Inter could be official on Monday, which will be in the coming hours. With Suarez, negotiations are still stranded, but they hope to let him go, and Juventus are awaiting. But that is where we do stand at the moment. There's a lot of things to assess. Hopefully, Koeman, Barcelona, the sporting directors do make some moves before this transfer window does close. And so thank you guys so much for watching. That'll be it for today's Barcelona Daily News. If you guys are new here, please like, subscribe, comment. I'm happy that you guys are here, and I will see you guys in the next video.